Hello, everybody. It is Friday, April the 5th, 2024, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, the eclipse is coming, and we're going to be having some activities here at the IAC. We'll tell you about it.
I'm going to give a recap on the F1D World Championship.
And this weekend is the Toledo RC Swap Meet. We'll hear from some folks who are out there today. We'll tell you all about that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I'm Lee Ray.
Hello, Lee. Good to see you again, as always.
Howdy, howdy.
Everything going okay down there in the fine state of Texas?
I don't want to have this sad conversation, but I know we're going to talk about the eclipse, since Texas just looks like it's just getting a complete cloud cover for the path. So I'm kind of sad because I had plans to go to a club north of Waco, an AMA club, and hang out with these members who are almost dead center of the path. But I got to tell you, the weather is not looking good for us. How about you?
So I'll tell you, about a week ago, weather forecasts were not looking great. However, as of today, we're given predictions of a little bit of cloud cover in the morning, but it's going to end up clearing out and being a beautiful, bright, sunny day, like 72 degrees, which would be the warmest it's been in Muncie so far this year.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. So yeah, things are looking up for us. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit because we've got some things to talk about with regards to the eclipse. I'm sure everybody is just loving hearing about the eclipse 24/7 on social media and on the news and everything else. I see people just talking about it all the time, how much they love it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But we got some bigger news to talk about, frankly. Yeah, it's bigger, I guess, than an astronomical event that may not happen again for another 30, 40 years. The F1D World Championships took place out in Romania, at the salt mines in Romania this past week. And we've got some results to talk about, do we not, Lee?
We do. And I don't know if anybody has seen them yet on our Facebook page. I encourage you guys to add that to your favorite page on Facebook if you're a member. But I'm going to jump right to the end where the finals were announced. And then I'm going to do a little slideshow that my good buddy David Lindley, who's president of the National Free Flight Society, sent me so I can share some of the moments with you guys. But I wanted to congratulate Team USA, both the seniors and the juniors. We did very well this year. Kang Lee won first place for senior individual. Brett Sandborn won second place. And junior, this is great news for us, but the USA team won first place for junior, and that's Daniel Guo. And, Team USA took podium for first place for the senior division, and the junior division took second place. And congratulations to Emily, who was, I think, the only female for the senior division to participate, and she came in first place. So awesome, guys. But hey, I got to tell you, this was, to me, some of the favorite parts. I have seen pictures of the salt mines. We've shared this before on our show, but I really liked the photo gallery we got this year. And so there's a website you can go to. I think Bryce will share the link while I'm going through the slideshow. But you can go to their website to pick up their blog, and all most of these photos are in the gallery. But just look at the size, Matt. I don't know if I remember seeing a photo like this to just give you the size of this, where you can't see a solar eclipse. You're completely underground. They'd never know. But I just love this collection of photos, because Matt and I are photographers. And just, you can tell it's cold in there, guys. And, these guys, look at the faces on those. They're serious about this event. But I also wanted to add this photo. I thought this was wonderful. I'm not sure who thought of doing this, but this is a little monument for Jim Richmond, who is an amazing, talented free flight modeler. And he passed away last year, unfortunately, and at a great age of 96. So what a wonderful life he led. And they had this little book out there for people to sign who obviously knew him because he was an aviator in the free flight group. So anyway, I thought that was just such a nice touch. So thank you for sharing that, David. But, here they go with competitions. I will say, unfortunately, it's a little dark in there. So some of the videos I got are hard to see, and the focus just could not keep up with the gliders, and I was afraid it wouldn't transfer well here. So next year, we'll send them with high definition equipment, right? We'll get them up there and see if we can get a couple more videos. But again, here's some photos for the awards ceremony. Congratulations to Team USA there and the junior for second place. Just... congratulations, guys. First off, a long trip. And I have no idea what it's like to travel that far abroad, but looks like they had all smiles, and the blog tells it very well, guys. That's a great story to read. So go over and click on that link that you saw earlier in the video and enjoy the stories of their trip.
Yeah, I want to just touch on, well, first of all, congratulations to Team USA and Kang and all of those folks that just did a tremendous job out there representing the United States at this World Championship. I do want to take a step back, though, and talk just a little bit about this salt mine. You mentioned earlier just how gorgeous some of those photos are and how incredible a venue that is. I want to share with you guys real quick, if I could. There is an amazing documentary that was put out back in, I think, 2019. And I'll share this here on the screen real fast. It's called Float, and it's a documentary that was put together by a handful of people. One of the folks involved in it was a guy named Ben Sachs. We've interviewed him. I don't remember if we had him on AMA Air or on the AMA podcast. We had him at least on the podcast and talked to him a little bit about this documentary, which follows the F1D team to the World Championships back in, I think, 2014 and then again in 2018. And it is an amazing documentary. It gave me such an appreciation for the indoor free flight community and the skill level that it takes to compete at that level. If you go to floatdocumentary.com, you can check it out there. You can buy the DVD from them there. I do believe you can actually buy it on Amazon too to watch as well. So go check it out. I can't recommend that documentary enough. It's very, very well done. And you get to see some beautiful shots of that salt mine because that's where they were competing. And it is it's one of those places I want to go just to visit that salt mine to experience all that in person because it's so gorgeous.
Next year, Matt. Put it on your list, buddy.
Let me submit that for my travel request for the next World Championship. I'm sure that'll get approved. So yeah, again, congratulations to Team USA. That's an incredible accomplishment for those guys, and we are all very proud of the job that you did. Well, speaking of indoor free flight, there's another event coming up that's very prestigious in that world, and we mentioned Jim Richmond a little bit earlier. It's the Jim Richmond Open that takes place down at West Baden, Indiana, at the West Baden Hotel on April the 13th through the 15th. This is another event that this one I actually got to go to, and it's another gorgeous venue, and again, just seeing this stuff in person was so cool, and you really get an appreciation for all of the hard work that goes into not just building these planes, but trimming them out and getting them to do exactly what they want and to keep them in the air as long as possible.
I also remember just when we talked about this on that episode, it was like when you go there, if you want to be a participant, if you just want to be a person to watch and get close, just don't talk and don't move quickly. Don't they have signs that tell you it's like, please stop moving, don't walk while I'm flying.
I know someone. This was not me. I can honestly say this was not me. I do know someone who was. Asked very, very politely to not walk so fast around the pits one year when they went to this event. But it is so cool. It's so much fun. And honestly, all of the competitors there are always happy to tell you a little bit about what they're doing if you have questions and that sort of thing. And I'm sure Dave Lindley's going to be there. I can't imagine he wouldn't be. I'm sure he'll be able to tell you anything you want to know. He's a great ambassador for the hobby and for free flight in general. So again, that's coming up next weekend, April 13th through the 15th, down in French Lick, Indiana, at West Baden Hotel and Casino. And I hope you guys go get to check that out. So it's a great time. Well, but before all that happens, we have.
Just give it to Matt. I'm going to take a break here.
No, I want you to chime in. You've got opinions too. We're coming up in just. Hold on. I like to tell people I have the countdown ready to go. So we're 3 days, 1 hour, 49 minutes away, and 10 seconds here in Indiana. Anyway, it's going to probably a little different in your neck of the woods, Lee. So I apologize. That's not quite as accurate for you. But we have the total solar eclipse that is coming up on this coming Monday. Again, 3 days, 1 hour, 48 minutes until we get totality here coming across the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana. Of course, there's a whole path of totality going across the United States, and we are going to be lucky enough to be in that path of totality, and we're going to get to experience that totality. And if you have not experienced a total solar eclipse from the path of totality, and you have a chance to see it this time around, do it. Go do it. There's not going to be another eclipse in the mainland United States until I believe the mid 2040s. There's not going to be another one passing through Indiana, I don't think, until 2099. I think is what I was told last we looked. So this is going to be my last chance. I can tell you that I'm probably not going to go traveling for this very far in the future. But it is an incredible experience, and we're going to have some stuff going on right here at the International Air Modeling Center. We are partnered with the City of Muncie and the Eclipse Muncie Committee to put on, or to be part of the official viewing locations here for the city. We're going to be having our new sim trailer sponsored by Wing is going to be here. It's going to be debuted here. If you've seen our sim trailer at events in the past, we've given it a brand new, fresh coat of paint, some new graphics, and some new things going on there. So that's going to be debuted this Monday. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have buddy boxing, flight demos, and of course, anybody that wants to come and check out the eclipse here at the IAC, you're welcome to do so. If you're an AMA member, you get to drive on to the IAC's campus for free at no charge. The general public, there'll be a $25 day pass per car charge, and but everyone's welcome. We've got tons of space here at the IAC. We've got almost no trees on site because, hey, we're here to fly airplanes and helicopters and things. So we try to keep the obstructions to a minimum. So nothing's going to be blocking the sun except for the moon here at the IAC. So it's going to be a great time. I hope you can come join us. I will be here. Come say hi to me. I'll probably be driving around acting crazy, trying to get as much stuff done and putting out fires anywhere I can. But I'll be happy to stop and talk to you guys, and it's going to be fun.
I imagine, like, right before the eclipse happens, Matt's going to put cones around him. It's just like, stay out of my personal space while I capture these photos. It's like, don't bother me, kid.
It's funny because everybody keeps asking me, Matt, are you going to take some photos during the eclipse? And like, yeah, I'm going to try. In 2017, for the eclipse in 2017, I went and drove myself to Kentucky, to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and I shot the eclipse there. So I've shot one. I've shot an eclipse in totality. I've got my sequence of eclipse photos, so I'm good there. I don't need to do that again, but I do want to get some shots here this year, and I'm going to try to pull myself away from all the duties that I'm involved in for those 3 minutes and 40-some seconds. I'm going to try to get some photos taken and try to do that. I've been working with Bryce, our producer, who's behind the scenes right now. He's going to be helping me out and taking some video and some photos as well. So we'll get some content out of this. I'm excited to do that.
A couple of things I'd like to add. Number one, you may get an influx of Texans to Muncie, because if they see Indiana with this big hole in the sky, you're going to have all these people just gathering on IAC because we can't see it here. Like I mentioned to you before the show, my brother was going to be in Fredericksburg, Texas, but now he's thinking of going up to Arkansas because he thinks they're not going to have as bad cloud cover. And so I encourage excuse me, I encourage you to be careful out there because you might get throngs of people you were not expecting. My second comment was I was planning to have my Mavic loiter in the air, just so people know, behind the field over trees where people would not be viewing the eclipse, so I could get a time lapse. So I doubt I'll be able to do that. So I'm going to ask you as a friend, please do the same thing for me. If you guys could find a way to get one in the air and do a time lapse of that, I'd love to see the shadow come across and the light on the sides of the sky. You know, it just seems like a cool view. And I have a friend who's already making plans to be in the air. He's already got his IFR planned, you know, to be traveling with that. And of course, he'll be above the clouds. So, I mean, what an even incredible view he's going to have.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We've got a lot of things planned for the day. So first of all, we wanted to make sure that because this is the IAC and this is a site that it belongs to our members, that our members were going to be taken care of, and they're going to obviously, like I mentioned earlier, get a free admission into the IAC that day to hang out and watch the eclipse from their site. We are going to be opening up Site 4. For those of you familiar with the IAC, that is the southernmost flying site, the grass runway. That's going to be the only site open to open flying that day. So folks who are members who want to come and fly during the eclipse, they'll be able to do that there.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing buddy boxing out at Site 1. We're going to do some flight demos there as well, and over at the museum. The National Model Aviation Museum is going to be open for free all weekend long, which is a huge deal. We're very excited about that, and excited for folks that are coming just to see the eclipse. Maybe don't know a lot about model aviation or know anything about it. This is an opportunity for them to kind of learn a little bit about our hobby and what it's all about. And so there's going to be lots of cool stuff like that. But I'll tell you one of the things I'm mostly kind of excited about, and this is something new. We haven't really talked about it because it just kind of happened in the last day or two. We're going to have some folks from Near Space, which is a company just down the road from us in Upland, Indiana, who they specialize in atmospheric research. They're going to be launching some weather balloons here on site, which is going to be really cool. So they can take some readings of the atmosphere before, during, and after the eclipse. So it's going to be very interesting to kind of watch that happen. That's going to be something I've never seen before, so I'm excited about it. But yeah, we're going to have a great time. It's going to be really exciting. I'm excited, sorry, Lee, about the weather forecast that we're looking to have. It's looking to be nice and clear in the afternoon in 72, 73 degrees, something like that. So I got to be honest, I was a little worried. Now I'm not as worried as I was a few days ago. And hopefully, as the weekend goes on, I'll get even less and less worried about the weather, and we'll be in good shape on Monday afternoon at 3:00. I should know this, 3:07, something
Sure.
like that. I think.
Sounds like a good number. I want to point out, this is probably something that we should address, being that this is AMA Air. Our offices will likely be closed or short-staffed because we will have a ton of people out at the IAC doing a variety of tasks. And so we're wanting to make this a great experience for everybody who's coming. We'll have volunteers at the museum. We'll have volunteers at the food area. We, of course, are going to have some fun volunteers flying airplanes right up to the eclipse. So please, if you call our offices, you might have to wait for us to get back to you. But I hope you are also experiencing and enjoying the eclipse for yourself.
Yeah, so two things I will say. Thank you for pointing that out, Lee. Yes, our operations will be shut down for the duration of Monday because we're going to be on site kind of helping run this event and talking with members, talking with guests, and showing them kind of what things are, what our hobby is kind of all about.
It's a floating holiday.
It's a little, sort of. So, it's a shadow holiday. See what I did there? So it's probably going to be difficult to get a hold of a lot of people here. I think we are going to have one or two folks in the building answering phones and things, but I would anticipate being difficult to get a hold of anybody on Monday, much like most businesses, I think.
Please don't forward the calls to me if I don't get to go enjoy it. Lee will take all your calls on Monday during the eclipse.
Exactly. But here's the thing, as Lee said, do yourself a favor. If you are in even close to where totality is going to happen, do yourself a favor. Go see it. Go, if you got to drive 10, 15 minutes, maybe you got to drive an hour, go do it. It's absolutely, I can't stress enough how worth it is to experience that in person. I've talked to a few friends of mine who are like, who cares? It's just an eclipse. I've seen 100 of them or whatever, and I'm like, you haven't seen one like this. You haven't seen totality. The difference between totality and 1% off of totality is quite literally night and day. So I would encourage you, if you can see it, go see it. I am certainly going to make sure that I do. I'm going to be here experiencing it here with our wonderful members and the members of the public who are going to join us as well. It's going to be a great time. Lee, I hope it clears up for you, buddy. I really do.
Yeah, me too. No worries. It is what it is.
Well, as I mentioned, one of the cool things that's happening during the Eclipse event here at the IAC is we're going to be debuting our brand new sim trailer experience. It's going to be powered by Real Flight, but it's going to be sponsored by Wing, and that's going to make its debut here at the Eclipse. However, if you want to see its next event that it'll be coming to, you don't have to wait long. It's going to be next weekend, April the 13th. It's Purdue Aviation Day. It's Purdue. It's their celebration of aviation, and it's free. It's open to the public at Purdue University up in West Lafayette, Indiana. It's got a little bit of something for everybody. It's got keynote speakers. It's got children's activities, vendors, all sorts of things. But you can also see the AMA experience there, the simulator trailer experience. It's going to be on hand, and you'll get to check it out. And it's going to be a really cool experience for everybody that gets to see that. Again, free and open to the public at Purdue University, April the 13th. That's next Saturday. So that'll be your next chance to see the brand new sim trailer experience sponsored by Wing. So I encourage you to go check that out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You're going to send me a picture.
Yeah, absolutely. We will do that.
It's been kept under wraps for me, so I'm looking to...
It's very secretive, very secretive.
Oh, it is, yeah.
We're very excited to show it off on Monday for everybody. So there'll be plenty of photos posted for all that. Cool. Well, one event that's going on right now, as we speak, as I look at my invisible watch, is the Toledo RC Swap Meet going on over in Toledo, Ohio. It's going on today and tomorrow. So today they're open from 9 to 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Over at, it used to be the Seagate Convention Center. It's not called the Seagate Convention Center anymore. It is I had it written down here and now I've lost it. So I apologize.
Glass City Center.
Thank you, the Glass City Center. Hey, Lee, appreciate you, buddy. Coming in for the save. I appreciate that. You can go to Toledo RCSwapMeet.com for more information. The good news is we actually have some folks from the AMA there on hand. We've got a booth set up there for you guys to come and ask questions and all sorts of things of that nature. But we got a video sent to us that we wanted to share here on the show. It comes from a couple of the event organizers, Henry and David. They had a message for all you folks here watching today, and we're going to throw it to them.
This is Dave and myself. I'm Hank. We're here at the Toledo RC Swap and Expo. This year I'm excited to say that we partnered with the AMA. We are so happy to be part of the show because without AMA we wouldn't be here either. So it's something you want to come down and check out. Not only is it a swap meet, now of over 400 8-foot tables, but it's also a commercial vendor meet. This year we have over 50 commercial vendors here. We have people like AJ Aircraft, Buddy RC, Free Sky, lots of different things. On top of that, we have a raffle this year. We're raffling off today only. We have raffles today and tomorrow, but today about $8,000 worth of product. And the coolest thing is, parts of that's going to go to the AMA Flying Grant Fund. We know how important it is to give back to our community. Like I said before, we can't do it without you. We're in this together. So again, Dave, I'll pass it off to you. I'm so excited that I had this opportunity. Can't wait to see you here.
We thank you all for coming that are already here, and we look forward to anybody that's coming tomorrow. There'll be as much here tomorrow as there is today, because we have plenty of vendors still coming in,
Yes, sir.
and swappers bringing stuff in tomorrow as well. So there's no better day to come than any day you want to come. So we look forward to seeing you either today or tomorrow.
Well, we appreciate that, Henry and David, for that message from the Toledo RC Swap Meet. Again, ToledoRCSwapMeet.com to learn more. That's going on again from today until 5 o'clock. So we still have a couple more hours left if you're in the Toledo area to go check that out. I think admission is $10. Tomorrow, they're open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So go check them out and go stop and say hi to the fine folks over at the AMA booth and tell them AMA Air sent you. Oh no, Lee, we can't hear you, buddy.
Hey.
Hey, there you are.
That's why I need you, Matt. We work together. If you are at the Toledo show and you are following us on Facebook, we do have posts of photos that are being shared with us, and we'd love to see your comments. If you're there, if you've bought some really cool things, or if you see some other vendors there, leave a comment on those Facebook posts. Let us know, because I have to live vicariously through you, because I'm not there, and I know that my wallet would be very empty if I were to be there, because I've seen some of the photos, and boy, it would be a tough trip to come home without some of those nice aircraft that I see.
You know, I spent a lot of years going to the Weak Signals Toledo show, and this when they kind of folded their operation there, and this took over that, you know, those dates and that location. I was kind of interested to see how things would go, but they really have done a great job of keeping that Toledo tradition alive and keeping so much going on for folks to do when they come into that Toledo show. So it's really cool to see that being so successful. So again, go check them out until 5 o'clock today and tomorrow from 9 to 2. And I don't think you'll leave empty-handed. I gotta believe you'll find something in there for you. Some of you guys may have seen last week, we released a video on our YouTube channel about it. It was a leadership roundtable that was done by our Gov team, both Tyler Dobbs and Crystal Pearson, as well as Chad Boudreau, and members of our FRIA team were involved. Lucas was on the show for that. To tell you guys a little bit about, you know, how things were going with remote ID implementation, but more specifically, the advances we've gotten in altitude waivers for sanctioned events. We put that out there for you guys to check out if you haven't seen that yet. That's on our YouTube channel. I would seriously have you, or encourage you to go check that out. We've got a link also in the comments of this episode right now, both on Facebook and on YouTube, for you to go check it out. And if you haven't watched it, please do. I know, Lee, I think you've had a chance to see that. I'm sure a lot of that information was near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah, I was there live listening in, and Lucas did a great job explaining what we've been doing to get people FRIAs and the new remote ID exemption. It's still a little bit of an uphill process, because we have some clubs that we're still fighting for, and we're going to keep fighting to have all of our clubs protected from remote ID. But please review that video. It's done very well. Thank you, Matt, for producing it. And if you guys ever have any questions, you can always reach us, by going to modelaircraft.org and contact us.
Absolutely, and modelaircraft.org/gov is the place you really want to go to make sure you're up to date on the Gov blog. They keep that updated all the time with up-to-date information as it happens. That's the place to learn all about it. I want to give a quick shout out in the chat. There's a couple things that I saw that I want to make sure to point out. Mark Ebert said he's going to be out camping at the primitive area here at the IAC for the first time. He's looking forward to the trip. Mark, thank you for coming out and spending the day with us. This is going to be a great time. I'm glad you're doing it here at the IAC. So thank you for letting us know about that. Our good friend Mason Hutchison is in the chat as well, landing gear engineer. He said hello to Matt and Lee, and thanks for the show today. Hey Mason, it's good to hear from you, man. We got to catch up. Haven't talked to you in a hot minute, but it's good to see that you're watching the show today. So thank you so much for commenting on that as well. And Ming Joe is also in the chat. Gotta love Joe Vermillion when he shows up to the show. So thanks for you for coming on as well. Okay, So we got the leadership roundtable. Let's talk about something else that we have going on, and it's the Model Vault series. If you guys haven't seen that yet, we talked about it a couple of episodes ago. Our Model Vault series is a series we've been putting together and putting out on social media and on our YouTube channel to highlight some really cool exhibits in the National Model Aviation Museum. We mentioned that the museum is going to be open all weekend long and free to the public this weekend in celebration of the eclipse. But if you can't make it here to the IAC and to the National Model Aviation Museum, this is a great way to see some of the cool exhibits we have on display, and even some stuff that, well, isn't on display because we only have so much room there at the museum. A lot of stuff is in storage, and they have to rotate things in and out. But some of this stuff, is pretty cool and kind of secretive. So we like to bring some of that to you as best we can. And we wanted to share one of these videos with you, so you can get a sneak peek of what some of these Model Vault episodes look like. So we're going to do that right now. I want you guys to enjoy this episode of Model Vault.
Clarence H. Wallach, better known as Wally, flew this all-aluminum Class C control line model 155.11 miles per hour to a world record in 1948. Part of the secret to his success was the way in which the Dueling 61's engine was mounted to the fuselage. Wally milled off the side motor mounts and instead mounted the engine by the crankcase. Without the side motor mounts, the engine and fuselage had a much smaller profile, therefore reducing drag. The aircraft's wingspan is 18.5 inches long. The model was eventually donated to the museum by Wally's son, Graydon Lynn Wallach.
Bite-sized chunks of I was saying bite-sized chunks of really cool aviation history. And by the way, Bryce, good job, because our producer is putting those together, so he really deserves the credit. They're really well done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun to show some of that stuff off because, that's content you can't get anywhere else. You're not going to see those models anywhere but the National Model Aviation Museum, and the Model Vault series is going to bring that to you. We've got 2 more episodes left in this first season of Model Vault. We've got an episode coming out on April the 15th and April the 29th, which is just in time for the museum to open for the season on May the 6th. But of course, you can see all of those episodes that have been released so far. Again, they're on our YouTube channel. They're on the National Model Aviation Museum's social media channels as well. So go check them out and enjoy the Model Vault series from the National Model Aviation Museum.
I gotta say, Matt, I'm lucky because I'm an employee because I get to go behind the velvet ropes. But it is amazing to see. I feel bad for sharing this with you, but almost like I feel like I'm a VIP. But I have seen the planes hanging that don't quite make it into the museum, and it is amazing. So there is so much stuff that they are working on to try to get out there. But I know that there have been some recent changes. I think to the scale area. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things being changed around over there. Nothing too drastic quite yet. There's some new graphics going up in the scale area, in the radio control area, in I think control lines going to be getting some soon. That's going to be a long-term process to get all of those things updated, but we're working hard behind the scenes to do that. There's so many cool exhibits going on, and you mentioned that scale exhibit. One of my favorite airplanes in the museum right now is in that scale exhibit. It's Brett Becker's U-2 that he won Top Gun, I think twice. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think twice with that. Correct. It is immaculate is kind of the best word I can come up with, because I've looked at this at that U2 up close when he brought it and donated it. We shot some videos and some photos of that U2, and you're talking about being this close to it, right? Just inches away, and the detail is impeccable. It's perfect. It's no wonder that it was an award-winning aircraft. there's not a control control point linkage anywhere on the outside of that aircraft. It's all internal, and it's just so incredibly well done. That's probably my favorite piece in that museum right now.
My joke for those who are old timers like me listening to the show, you don't see any goldenrod push rods sticking out with nylon clevises. No, there's none of that.
Push rod was the word I was trying to come up with and just was not coming into my brain. But you get the idea.
Inside joke there. And Brett's one we talk about a lot because it is very pretty. I've had a chance to see it myself. There are a lot of cool plays in there, and I'd like to add that there's a B-36, a huge B-36. It's so big, it's not the entire B-36 model in there. But if you're coming for the Eclipse, please go to the museum. If you're coming to Nats, go to the museum. If you've never flown out the IAC, make arrangements to come out, camp out there, and visit the museum. It's an incredible place to see the history of model aviation. It's almost like the Smithsonian. You think you can go in for an hour maybe and see it all. You can't. There's a library in the back. Maybe you can talk to Michael and say, hey, Michael, you got something else I can see? And he might come out with white gloves and hand it out to you, and by the way, not just that, but the little hobby shop that's in there. My goodness. And please go visit the museum Facebook page. You can see a lot of photos in the gallery section of what that's all. And it's amazing. And I'm very lucky that I can say I've been there and it's on a bucket list.
Yeah, the hobby shop, it's interesting you mentioned that because that's something that a lot of people say is their favorite thing of the museum is the hobby shop because it really does make you think back to those old hobby shops back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It's people get very nostalgic when they walk in. If that's the era that they grew up in, yeah, exactly. It's been put together so incredibly well and with such care that it really does feel like you're walking back in time a little bit, and that's what everybody says to me. Of course, I'm not that old, so I wouldn't know.
Yuck.
Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, well, so there it is. That's the National Model Aviation Museum. Go check that out. I encourage you to do that. A couple other things. If you're going to be looking for places to go this summer, things to do here at the IAC, we have a couple of things to let you know about because registration is open for the 2024 National Fun Fly here at the IAC, June the 28th through the 30th. You can visit modelaircraft.org/funfly for more information, including all the activities we're going to have going on. Obviously, we're going to have modeling happening. We're going to have a swap shop. We're going to have exhibitors. We're going to have paramotors on site, which is something new for this year, and that's kind of cool. If you've not seen those in person, those are a lot of fun. But again, go to modelaircraft.org/funfly to learn more about that. And of course, thank you so much to our sponsors. You can see them crawling across your screen right now. Those are the folks that really help make this event possible, so thank you to them. But there is one special announcement that we got to make. Lee, I think you've got something special planned for the Fun Fly this year, don't you?
There's something missing from that vendor list.
There is something missing.
I have to add it. I think that's my job. Hey, not that this is the reason to come to the National Fun Fly, but I hope it's one of the reasons you say, hey, hey, dear, I have to go because Lee is going to be there. Terry Dunn is going to be there. Fitz Walker is going to be there. And if I'm not mistaken, my buddy Mean Joe Vermillion in chat right now will also be there. And I am just so happy that my buddies are going to come with me to this Fun Fly. It's something that we weren't sure we could do, but we've worked it out in our schedules. So the RC Roundtable gang will be coming to the National Fun Fly. We hope to see all of you there. I want to say I'm one of the employees working on this project, and the map that they've drawn so far, it's huge. I mean, it's going to be an incredible layout. I can't wait till we start doing more updates for the Fun Fly. But guys, put this on your list of places to attend because I am really looking forward to it. Pretty sure Fitz and I are going to drive there now with our trailer and bring a whole bunch of stuff to fly and enjoy. But I'm also planning to do some live streaming there. So hopefully with Matt And Joe, my good buddy Joe, and the RC Roundtable gang will try to schedule some live shows so you guys can watch if you can't make it from home and enjoy the show. But guys, what a great time to hang out at one of the best flying spots in America, the IAC, and talk with us. We'll sign maybe a few, put some seniors out there for stuff. I'm sure Fitz, though, if you're not familiar with Fitz Walker, he's a writer. Well, both Terry and Fitz are writers for Model Aviation, but Fitz has his own YouTube channel called Hobby View. And the funny joke we always have is he's always noticed wherever we go, any event we go to. The first time I went to Joe Nall with him, I mean, not 15 minutes in, taking the golf cart, going down to Vendor Row, did someone walk up to us like, I know you, you're that guy on that YouTube channel. So he is a great guy to hang out with. I'm so glad I can call him my friend. But we'll be there. We'll hang out with you guys and enjoy this hobby. So please, we'll keep talking about this because it's coming up in a couple of months. But really try to get your calendar open to come to the National Fun Fly.
Yeah, there's going to be all sorts of fun things. I think we're going to have some RC boats going on. Some RC cars are going to be going on.
Fishing, if I'm not mistaken. I think,
I mean, we're really trying to make this a big open community event that's going to be open to all people in the family, something for everybody to do. So again, keep on the lookout. We'll be making some more announcements in the coming weeks about the National Fun Fly.
I'll be as annoying as the Eclipse has been these past few months. Is that right, Matt? We'll go from the Eclipse to the National Fun Fly. You can take a break.
Part of me thinks that's really funny, and also it hurts a little bit. But I get it. Yeah, it's fine. Well, something else that we're going to be very loud about is the 2024 National Aeromodeling Championships. Registration is also open for the NATS this year. Right now, you can go to modelaircraft.org/NATS and you can register for your NATS event or events, plural, if you're competing in more than one. The dates for this year's NATS, July 7th through August the 9th. And again, you can go to modelaircraft.org/NATS for more information on those. So we hope to see you here for that. Lee, let's talk about Club of the Month.
Okay. I'll be quick, guys. Hey, we do this every month, guys. We look for clubs that are active in the community, that have a really cool flying site, that contact us saying, hey, I've been a member of this club for 20 plus years. They do a lot of really neat things. They take care of the members. They take care of the field. So this month for April, wow. I don't know if I've ever posted a club that's been around for 70 years. They just celebrated their 70th anniversary, guys. This is the Kansas City RC Association. They go by KCRC. Charter number 390. Look it up. This is the Facebook post that we have, but we've also posted on Instagram and LinkedIn. We do this to share all of the good news about our active clubs with the community, but an amazing field. I've seen some of their photos, and they've got a really good website. There you go. Matt loves the good website there.
Yes, I do.
But 70 years, about 80 plus members, and very active. And one thing that they did mention, and I'm not scrolling through the whole text here, but they do have a swap meet they do. And they make a lot of money for their club at the swap meet. And I forget how many they said here. I'm not sure if they listed how many, but it was way over 700 people attended the one-day event. That was it. So they have a good swap meet that I don't know if your club does that. Our club does it. We do make a lot of money. And I will say this year, our club did really well. I think we had the most activity I've ever seen at our swap meet. So encourage you guys to talk with your club and see if you guys can get one going. But Kansas City RC Association, congratulations on 70 years. Here's to 70 more. I may not be here to celebrate, but goodness gracious, that's an incredible feat. So proud to call you guys Club of the Month.
70 years is incredible. 70 years is a long time for anything, much less a RC club. It's incredible. Congratulations to KCRC. That's fantastic.
Well, I kind of doubt they'd still be around, but just think about the original members, who created the legacy of this club, who said, hey, let's get some flying together, and, maybe 5-10 people, and now, look what they've done. So guys, it's never too late to start a new club. You can start it today, and 70 years from now. Oh my God! Did you just laugh at what Joe just wrote? Thanks, Matt. Matt couldn't control himself, but everybody here had to. We do have our friends
sorry.
out there, and it's a love-hate relationship I have with me and Joe. But thanks, Joe, for making Matt crack up today. I knew I couldn't continue.
Joe, I
but
appreciate you have no idea how much I needed that, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll have a lot of fun, Joe, when I see you at the National Fun Fly. Again, I'm going to reiterate, if you need to start a club, if you can't find one close by, do it yourself and think about how you could make this happen. You could start a club and get a few members going and just tell them to carry it on so other people can keep this hobby flowing. So good job, guys.
Absolutely. And the other thing that we certainly like to do every single episode of AMA Air is talk about the iFly AMA cover photo contest, the iFly AMA Facebook group. If you're not a part of that, I don't know what you're waiting for. Head over to facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA. Going to answer a couple of questions. First you click a button that says join. You answer a couple of questions. Lee lets Lee know whether or not you're a robot. Or AI. We don't need any of that going on. We just want you, and you get to come in and be part of the conversation. It's a great time. There's so many good tips, tricks, photos, videos, questions, you name it. It's all happening inside the iFly AMA Facebook group. And one of the great things that we do in there is that every single month we swap out that cover photo at the top of the page with a photo that you submit and vote on throughout the month. And we get to, I guess not unveil, it's already been changed, but we're going to show you on the show today what the cover photo winner is for the month of April. Lee, I'll give you a drum roll.
Thanks, Matt. I want to start by saying this was one of the best galleries of photos I've ever had a chance to go through. And so thank you, everyone, including you, Joe, which, by the way, I enjoy seeing your photos, but you know you're not eligible to win because you've already done that. But we had a great collection of some awesome photos. And I'm going to suggest, though, guys, when you join and you get in there and you start seeing these people posting photos in the featured image, start liking pictures. I kind of feel that there were a couple that should have had 20, 30 likes because they were just amazing. But our winner this month is Benjamin Harrington. And I'll be honest with you, I posted his photo, but I don't know if this is Benjamin or if it's just the photographer. So all I'm going to add is it appears to be an Extreme Flight Extra, NG. It's an ultra large extra, and it sure is pretty, but it's a nice smile on his face, and it's a beautiful airplane. Doesn't look like there's any damage yet, so we're good to go. It's like, yeah, all right, still in one piece. So thanks, Benjamin, for participating in the contest, submitting your photo. You're winning all the likes, and look forward to more of you going back to our Facebook page, or group rather, and adding your photos, and let's see if you can win for the month of May.
Absolutely. Yeah, and when you submit those photos, yeah, maybe put a little information with it so that we know what's going on. If that's you in the photo, if that's somebody else in the photo, we'd love to hear some of that information to go along with it. Lee can tell you what airplane it is. He'll look at it and tell you, oh yeah, that's a so and so. I'm not that smart, guys. I'm nowhere close to that smart. I'm sorry. Good job, Lee.
I'm assuming it appears to be an Extreme Flight with the naming, but I could not find the similar paint scheme, so I don't know if this guy redid the paint scheme. But hey, we're not going to ask that many detailed questions. We're looking for something that makes you feel happy. I mean, some of the photos we've had recently are a lot of float fly submissions, and a lot of people like to see that view. So, hint, hint: if you have a good float fly picture, you might win.
See, if you held up a vintage Martin guitar, I could probably tell you everything that you want to know about it without looking anything up. I'm not as good with the planes like you are. So
Matt's other channel. I like guitars. Yes. Guitar of the month.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time, Lee Ray.
I can't wait to see that, Matt. I'll join. I'll answer all your questions.
Well, guys, with that brings us to the end of our show, and we want to thank you so much for joining us here on AMA Air for this month. We want to, everybody watching live, thank you. You've been very active in the chat, and we appreciate all of that, and for taking time out of your day to join us here as well. We're gonna have another show coming up in about a month, and meanwhile, we're gonna go enjoy the eclipse on Monday. That's what we're planning to do. But if you want to learn more about the Academy of Model Aeronautics, all you got to do is go to modelaircraft.org/join. You can learn all about the AMA there and see if this is if you're not yet a member anyway, see what, if you want to end up joining us and coming out to the flying field this summer or spring or fall or whenever floats your boat or airplane, I guess in the sense you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to do us a huge favor by liking this video, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all of those things, you can do that. That helps us out big time, and we appreciate all your support. Lee, you got anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, just I can't wait till Monday to chat with you and see some of your photos. So have a good time.
We appreciate it, and we want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of AMA Air. Until then, so long. We'll see you then.